kind. Bunny always there to get you out of a bind. Rhoda, the genius looking through the archives. Your tail's flying fast, got dreams sky high. Antoine's a jerk, it's Sonic and the Freedom Fighters.
And hello everyone, welcome back to the Archie Sonic Digest, and as usual, I know we always say we have a great show for you, but that's questionable this time around because this next set of comments, it's a little hit or miss, especially right from the get-go, but regardless, we got my good friend Aaron back at the helm to join us once again. How are you doing, my friend?
I had to take like a mental break from Sonic or like any sort of Sega-related media after last episode and how much it drained me. Like, I don't think I've ever felt that drained from talking about these comics. Like, and yeah, it's only gonna get more draining.
We did a marathon. I will admit, we did a marathon. That was just because we were on a break. I wanted to catch up a little bit. Make up for lost time. That was a mistake. I will never do that again because clearly the human mind is only meant to handle so much of these comics at once.
Yeah. It's not good.
On that note, let's just go right into Sonic number 103, and this is going to be a little interesting because the creative team for this issue is some names you haven't heard in a while. Mike Gallagher did the writing, Jim Valentino did the art. Now, I'm going to stress this a lot. These comics have nothing to do with anything that's been going on up to this point. None whatsoever. So, I'm going to save us all some time, and I'm just going to go right fast for them.
Yeah, if I can interject, I'll be completely honest with you guys. I'm going in a little bit blind on some of these. I've been a busy boy, but just to let you know, these two comics, it's just Guardians of the Galaxy and Marvel ripoffs. That's it. There's not a lot to talk about.
Yeah, basically, this is just some alternate zone that Sonic is showing us where, the Freedom Fighters lost and then Sonic was yeeted to the edge of space, got fucking, brain worked on by some aliens, was yeeted back to Mobius. 1,000 years pass. Now he and, the descendants of his old friends, who all have, weird powers as a result of, evolution, and when they left Mobius, because, the situation is now, Robotnik won 1,000 years of darkness, and now all of these people have come back to fight back, kind of. Basically, it's a Freedom Fighters of the Galaxy situation, and the story just ends with this ragtag group of the Sonic, Tails, Sally, Antoine, and Bunny. I think that's all of them.
Yeah.
They find Silver Snively come in. Basically threatening them, and they see it as a harbinger for his master, Robolacticus.
Okay, I just want to point out, the art of this fucking Snively is unreal. It is unreal, bro. It is unreal. It's so bad.
This is one of those, it's so bad it's good, in my opinion.
No. I agree. It loops around from being so awful that it reaches this point where it's what? You're in such disbelief that you can't understand.
It's the slack-jawed, shiny Snively, slack-jawed. It's just the Silver Snurfer, but just it's Snively. I don't know what else you want from me.
It's the proportions, it's the fact that his surfboard says bad boy on it.
Icing on the cake, icing on the cake.
It is the icing on the cake, bro. It's awful. Oh god. Okay, so are we gonna talk about Down Under Freedom Fighters?
I can do it in a sentence.
Okay, go.
So yeah, Gallagher wrote it, Manak did the art. Down Under Freedom Fighters are looking for a new recruit. One of their recruits auditioning got attacked by an aboriginal myth called the Bunyip. They don't know where to find it until it attacks them and brings all of them except one of them down into the surface. And now he's just yeah.
Yeah,
that's it.
Minor note, the very end of this comic, Ken Penders rears his ugly head and says, "Hey, here's a cute little birthright chart you can make trying to figure out and piece together my family lineage. Haha.
And we're gonna find like the completed version of that in a later comic.
I just want to point out, do you think he was self-aware when he made these 2 pages? Do you think he was self-aware?
Listen. I have to be honest with you. I do not think there is a single self-aware bone in that man's body. I think this is the most earnest thing he's ever done in his life.
Yeah.
Sonic number 104. So, Silver Sniffly fights the Freedom Fighters. Blah, blah, Robolacticus shows up. Basically, it just ends with, like, Silver Snively growing to, like, Robolacticus' size and tell them, hey, this planet's not rich in nutrients. There's another planet full of sharks. Let's go eat that one. That's the end of that story.
Epic!
And then in story B, that's where they tell the story of, like, the Bunyip, and then it attacks them. And it's like, what is it? One of them named Guru runs only to find a dam and tries to, like, there's some, like, quips about, like, this character, like, cursing by just saying damn, but meaning, like, the water dam. Like, it's not funny. I also have in my notes, it ends with an uncolored drawing of Sonic done by Ken Penders to encourage kids to, quote, make their own version of Sonic. I am now slowly putting blame on Ken Penders for the Sonic OC epidemic.
Yes and no. It was always gonna happen.
This is encouragement from an official, like, Sonic.
Oh no, media.
No.
He's responsible, 100%. Especially with all the Echidna OCs. Yeah, no, fuck that.
And so, by the way, now since we've gone through that, basically what happened here was, if you're wondering why does this have nothing to do with what's going on in the comics already, it's because that these stories were penned for a super special, but as we've learned previously, the super special book got canceled after the last one was just, like, so fucking bad and so fucking lazy. They're just like, no, we cannot justify selling another book of this. Like, we're canceling it. We already have, like, but unfortunately, we already have, like, this story that Mike Gallagher wrote. We already bought it, so let's just shove it in the main book. Whatever. We need to get rid of it.
I mean, I don't have a ton to say about this.
Nobody does. Nobody
does.
Nothing happens here.
It's 2 throwaway issues. Like, nothing happens.
We're done here. So, Sonic number 105. Done by Karl Bollers, art by Ron Lim. So, now picking up from where we actually left off. The King's guards are in Sonic's home. They're packing up Nate's belongings. Sonic and Uncle Chuck assuming he got the bad news that Nate is stuck in Robotropolis. Back in Robotropolis, Hope tells Colin about the Robian that she saw. He's refusing to believe that his brother would do such a thing, as Eggman walks in basically saying, no, she's right, I would do such a thing, and I did do.
Eggman it literally is just like, okay, here's my hand, I'm revealing it right fucking now.
Then in Robotropolis, Eggman makes a broadcast saying that the Overlanders are suffering from a toxic waste poisoning, and they need immediate treatment. Colin asking if this means Eggman's affected too, with Eggman then revealing himself to be roboticized, saying, with a single touch from me, you can be, just like me, immune. And Colin immediately asks Snively, was he involved with this? And he says, like, yeah, I was. And, quote, consider it revenge for you not appreciating my intellect. Leaving Colin to punch Eggman in the gut, with him being instantly roboticized. Don't know what he was thinking about that moment. He was given the warning up front, but you know what? Heat of the moment, heat of passion. It all happens to the best of us, boys. Now, back in Castle Acorn, Chuck told of Nate possibly being roboticized, with Eggman being capable of roboticization with a touch. Sonic's initial thought was to use the Sword of Acorns to restore Nate's free will. Max thinking it's possible, but the only people who can wield it are himself and Sally. Where Sally cuts in quickly, she asks to wield the sword again, Max saying no, and keep in mind, that's just a strong no, and she drops like the tactical nuke of, if you trusted me in the first place, Elias wouldn't have run away.
She literally is like, fuck you, you're shitty, you fucked Elias over, I'm doing my own thing now, I don't care, I gotta get your approval or not, I'm getting that sword, I'm doing my thing.
See this in my hand? This is the sword. I'm taking it. Goodbye. See you at dinner. Yes, he agrees to the idea in the end, as the only stipulation being Sonic guards Sally through the mission. So as they walk out of the castle, Sonic asks if something was wrong, as Mina rushes to Sally, thanking her for freeing her mom from Eggman, and runs away again. Now in Robotropolis, Hope is running away into the city, with Eggman coming onto the monitor saying, If you value your grandmother, come back to be roboticized. Hope does agree to this, but Agnes is roboticized anyway. Shadowbots surround her, with Sonic arriving to smash him. Sonic, Sally, and Hope together enter Eggman's control room, leaving Sonic to run around him to saw a hole to drop into the lower floor. Snively just kicks Sonic in there, leaving Sonic to find all the roboticized Overlanders, including Nate. Sally follows and finds all these others, including Agnes and Colin. She uses the sword on them, but it has no effect because the Mobians, as we've mentioned before, when they're roboticized, they can still have their movement. Their minds just are gone. But with Overlanders, they become statues. There's no, for whatever reason, that's just what it is what it is. Eggman gloats that it doesn't work for the reasons I just described, but he calls out to Snively. He says that Snively was exposed to the toxins too. He's gonna die soon, but if you were roboticized, then you'll live. Which Snively says, like, dude, wait, like, I'm gonna become a statue too. Like, my mind's gonna be done. I can't move. Like, what's wrong with you? I can't do that. To which Eggman says, well, listen, my dear nephew, here's the trick about being roboticized as an Overlander. You can keep your movement and your free will if you're just willing to be roboticized. And he just puts out his hand, Eggman does, and then Snively puts her there. And then he comes out of it, roboticized Snively, and he looks disgusting.
He looks like Pickle Rick. I mean that in the nicest way possible.
I don't know if
This is listen, I'm only bringing it up because I saw it. And when I saw it, I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, he looks like a turd or Pickle Rick. That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, it's just like an angular stick with the nose sticking out. It's just like, well, okay. Moving on. Now, the other Overlanders that are there that are witnessing all this that came to be cured, Sonic says, like, listen, no, don't take this deal. You're gonna become slaves to Eggman if you do this. But, like, if you want to stay here, I'm not gonna make you leave. And to which Eggman offers a similar thing. Sonic, Sally, and Hope all walk away, and the rest of the Overlanders follow. And Snively is surprised that Eggman would let them all walk away, but Eggman says, quote, it will be entertaining to watch them suffer. That's the end of that story.
I guess it's weird when you consider that, you know, I mean, when he talks about suffer, right? I mean, does it just mean he's just going to be attacking them? Does it mean he's going to be, like, no, you know, letting them suffer the struggle of human life and being exposed to toxins? Like what is the...
I mean, there's so much going on in this book. There's just, I mean, the series in general. Like, could be anything.
It really could be anything. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Robo Robotnik's character being kind of reduced in this scenario, because I thought his whole MO was like, he's just ruthless and he really just does not care and he will literally do whatever.
But then by that extent, then, like, this kind of does seem in character for him, because it's just like he's just literally not in the mood to fight back. It's just like, well, fine, whatever. I really don't care. I have no connection to these people. I really don't care. Like, I'm roboticized. I'm technically not even from this dimension. Like, these aren't my people. I have no connection to them. I don't fucking care. I don't care. That's the end of that story. And story B, unfortunately, also does continue the Down Under Freedom Fighters stuff. Basically, the small and short of it is that one of them can somehow speak the Bunyip's language. It's just upset that it got polluted by Crocbot. They just release the dam, they destroy it, and that leads, like, all the rivers to, like, be restored, including the Bunyip's natural habitat. So they're like, hey, thanks, dude. Like, you guys are pretty poggers. Thanks for, like, restoring my home. And that's it. We're done. Sonic number 106.
We're kind of going rapid fire through these, but honestly...
Like, what do you want me to say, honestly?
Yeah, listen. We have said our spiel in previous episodes. I could make comments about the art. I can make comments about the writing and the direction. But, like...
I mean...
What is there really to say at this point?
In Mike Gallagher's defense, this is literally... His style of writing does not match the tone of what these comics have become. And it's not his fault This is just what Ken Penders came along and decided to take it in a rapidly different direction. And you know what? Good for him. I think it was the right move, and I think it was the smart choice. Other writers that have followed, or like were working at the time when Ken Penders was taking this new direction, saw the writing on the walls and were like, okay, I think I need to make like a little bit more serious stories with a little bit of stakes because this guy is like basically in control now. So I'm just going to play along. Mike Gallagher just doesn't like, this is not his shtick. This is not what he's about. His whole shtick is just Saturday morning cartoons. And you know what? I have no blame for him. I have no fault for that. It is what it is. Sonic number 106, Karl Bollers, Ron Lim, you know the people. So, right off the edge of the last story, the Freedom Fighters are taking a group of overlanders to Station Square. After flying through a cloud and nearly avoiding a crash to the mountainside, Nicole plots a better route for a direct landing, and upon landing after getting hit by an updraft, they're ambushed by paparazzi and welcomed by the president's secretary and the media, with Sonic even saying it was, quote, way past cool to be there.
I guess I'll say I do like that their first thought when they have all these overlanders just vibing is just like, all right, Station Square, that's the only place we know, so
let's go.
Yeah. Yep.
So then they go to totally not the White House, as I have it written in my notes, to meet the president of Station Square. In fact, even indirect quotes, last time you dealt with the mayor, but things have changed for the better. Now, look, listen. Obviously that this was done to adapt to the story of Sonic Adventure 2. I'm not begrudging it. It is what it is. They had to do what they had to do. They didn't really have to have it be taking place in Station Square, but they kind of wrote themselves into a corner with this world. So you know what? There are worse sins this comic has produced.
Yeah, it's a fine retcon. I mean, the very least they could have said, yeah, the mayor got pulled into the chief of staff position, and he's been helping us with the rebuilding ever since Chaos attacked and everything like that. But other than that, I mean, I think it's fine.
Yeah, they didn't even need to have that kind of line. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And then we're meeting with the Joint Chiefs of Staff, which now we're going to be bringing in real-world situation stuff into this. But over dinner, Sally tells the president of the need to relocate 70 families into Station Square to save them from the pollution of Eggman City. One of the chiefs point-blank saying, "What can you do for us in return?"
Okay, now we have to stop for a minute, because I have to give the writers credit. They have perfectly characterized the U.S. as a fucking as a global powerhouse when there are 70 families who need to be taken in as refugees. And the first thing they say is, yeah, we can make space, is, what are you going to offer us in return? Please, tell us!
This enrages Sonic, saying, oh, you just aren't going to help because it's the right thing to do, which, Sonic the Hedgehog, my man, you know nothing of the American political system, and that's for the better. Sally calms Sonic down and just simply pulls out Nicole, shows them all a hologram of Dr. Eggman. This man is responsible for unleashing chaos and shadow onto your city. If you take the refugees, we'll turn over all intelligence we have on Dr. Eggman. Do we have a deal? To which the president says he will sleep on it. And later that night, Sonic is sitting in the dark of his room. They're all like at the White House as honored guests, obviously. He's just strumming his guitar, little upset that the humans won't want to help out solely in good faith, as Tails and Rotor walk in, inviting him to let's have a night on let's have a boys' night, Sonic. We're gonna hit the arcades. What do you say? And then his response being, does St. John stink?
Based. So all right. So off topic question. The boys go to the video arcade. All right. So what are they playing? What's the flavor? What's the flavor?
It's 2001. Obviously, they're playing the greatest fighting game ever made, King of Fighters 2001.
Wait, no. KOF 2002 comes out next year. You can't say that.
Well, it's the timing. It's the timing,
It's the timing.
It's the timing.
Did MVC2 come out yet? It came out in like 1999 or 2000, right? I'm pretty sure it did. So one of them would be 100% fiending MVC2, right? One of them would be fiending Time Crisis 2. Mm-hmm. And then, I don't know, I'm trying to think. Oh, and then one of them would be playing House of the Dead. Perfect.
Love it. Love it. Now this begs the question, who mains who in King of Fighters?
It's a really good question. I don't know. I can't. I am not as familiar with KOF as other people are. I'm not a big SNK head, but I know people who are. I don't know. I can't tell you. Give me some opinions. I want to hear this.
Let's see. Knuckles definitely mains Terry, 100%.
Yes, 100%.
Sonic mains Kyo just because of the main character shtick.
Okay.
Amy, she would main fucking the name is no. Who's the girl with like psychic powers? That's the one that I'm drawing a blank on her name.
12 seconds later.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of. Athena
Yeah,
Asayama.
Athena, okay.
So yeah, Amy mains Athena Asayama. Who would Tails main?
Benny Maru.
Perfect. We got it. We're done here.
All right, we're done with this bit. We got to keep going with this comic. Okay. So
we're just padding out time. By the way, in the background, after all this is happening, they see a shadow of a dragon like flying in the distance. Anyway.
Yeah. So Sonic chilling.
Oh, and by the way, I just want to point something out. In the art, they're all seeing, like, they're reviewing footage of, like, Sonic fighting threats to Station Square, Chaos, Silver Sonic 2, and Shadow. I just want to point out that Shadow was drawn kind of looking more like Sonic. He has, like, Sonic's silhouette, but his colors are correct. Black and red spines and all. The only reason I'm pointing this out is because, like, I don't know, like, we know the story. Like, we know that Shadow was supposed to be, like, you know, a lookalike of Sonic. So, like, is this really incorrect design? I'm philosophically, is this really incorrect?
At this point, I really do not care. At this point, I'm just like, I just sigh. I rub my temples, and I'm just like, I can't, dude. Just go.
Oh no.
Go.
I'm not like saying this to like dunk on anybody. I just think it's actually really interesting. I just wanted to make a bit anyway. The president is impressed by Sonic and Comnat, just not a fan of the attitude. The people are just living the Station Square nightlife as they're being attacked by a downpour of fire and scramble. The president sees this, it is what they think it is, and call for Sonic, but already see he's on the scene face to face with a dragon. Chinese dragon, by the way, I imagine.
I mean, listen, why? Like, this just comes out of left field.
That's good that you're thinking that. That is good, but we're gonna get to that. I promise.
Okay.
I have a piece to say.
I trust. I
have a piece to say. So Sonic's on the ropes, but Sally rushes into the command room with the president as the other freedom fighters rush to Sonic's aid. The dragon breathes fire towards Sonic's direction, and he responds by diving underwater. To which that's how the dragon just gives up and leaves. And later, Sonic decides to cut a deal with the president. If we can deal with this dragon, fully accept the refugees, which he accepts. And that's the end of that story. And now, we're going to get to the Pender story, one I am very excited for.
Why are you so excited for this?
Because we're going to be introduced to a character which will be very important in Ken Pender's repertoire. So...
Oh!
He saw it, boys. Ken Penders did both the writing and the art, so the first thing we see, the first 3 panels, are this fucking echidna lady pops into existence like she's the fucking Terminator.
Yeah, no cap. No cap. It's literally Terminator.
She wanders the empty Echidnapolis and tips off Legionnaires from her presence. They report back to Dimitri, who at the same time is talking to Lane Da, and reports that Knuckles left the carrier a while ago and has been on the floating island all this time, pissing him off. He theorizes that Knuckles is trying to reverse the effects of the quantum beam directly on the island, to which we now see him attempting to do.
I just want to point out too, it's just so funny that Knuckles is just green now, and it's just gonna be like this for an extended period of time. No, it's such a thing that, like, I can't get over it. It's so funny.
Like, Sega nowadays would not do that with the IDW comics for good reason, because this is ridiculous. But at the same time, like, it's just also so very special. Like, come on. This is honestly, this is like, it's become bad, warped into being good, and warped again into being bad. We're just going on like a 720, it's a 720 degree spin.
Tony Hawk is taking us for a ride and trying to pull off skateboard tricks. He can't handle it, bro. He can't.
I can't fucking handle it. This girl Echidna continues to aimlessly walk about, thinking that she arrived in the time when the inhabitants were stuck into another zone. The wind continues to pick up, stronger and stronger, and she's clutching to a lamppost, surprised if this is a hurricane. This wind is too strong, and she's flown off. And then she hits herself headfirst onto the ground, but a voice calls for her, and we see it to be Remington, offering his help, and this girl recognizes him as the Echidna who killed Knuckles. End of Sonic 106. How on the edge of your seat are you, Aaron? Tell me. He's taking off his headphones.
I want to die.
He says he wants to die. Yes, excellent.
I want to die. I want to die, man.
This is a Ken Pender special. What do you mean? What do you mean?
I just, bro.
You've had enough? You had enough?
No, we have to keep going. This comic will get good. I promise. When all of this shit is over and we get to, like, the culmination of all this bullshit, which Ian Flynn does masterfully, oh my god, we're gonna talk about it for, like, an hour.
Honestly, yeah. Like, I have ideas. I've got ideas. Don't you always worry.
No, when we cover that, it's gonna have to be, like, a multi-part thing, because I think that we have so much to touch on in regards to it. Okay, but let's talk about 107. Let's talk about 107.
Karl Bollers wrote the main story, Lim did the art. And actually, I want to stress out, this cover is Sonic posing with the Sigma Alpha 2 team like it's a fucking action movie poster. This is quintessential early 2000s romp. I love it. I can't get enough.
I have to tell you, I don't know who did the cover art. Oh, wait, it was Spaz, right? Spaz did the cover art,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Dude, I gotta tell you, the more I look at Spaz's art of modern Sonic, the more I love the way that he does the shading for him.
Oh, yeah.
He does it in, like, a way that, like, so, like, you know how we've talked about how, like, the way that, like, the writer, the pencilers and the inkers have, like, designed Sonic in, like, these comics within the last 20, 30 issues has just been abhorrent and awful.
As usual.
Like, the way Spaz draws Sonic is, like, actually coherent, and it looks perfect for this era.
It's actually really interesting how, like, Spaz, who is, like, a superhero geared kind of, like, comic book artist, he draws Sonic perfectly. Or at least, like, 99%,
yeah,
you know?
The only thing that I really have an issue with is, I think that the shoes are a little off. Like, not necessarily, like, his shoes, but, like, the way that, like, the shoes and the socks are proportionally to the more stick-like figure legs that he goes with. But, like, other than that, it's a great design, and I love how prominent the quills are, and how, like, I don't know, I just think it looks great.
Me too. So, we open on Sonic and Tails are playing some fighting game on the Dreamcast, no less. Sonic Adventure 2 out now in stores. While being called to action by Sally to go meet with the president's top military aide, Commander Brass, who suggests that due to the dragon threatening the way of life of the people, it should be dealt with extreme prejudice. He then introduces his unit, Paladin Team Sigma Alpha 2, as backup, a suggestion Sonic laughs at due to him remembering how easy it was to escape from them, and he is like laugh out loud kind of laughing. And Sally, quick on her feet, says, it's actually a sign of respect in Mobian culture to laugh at your allies. To which the president buys hook, line, and sinker and says, well, then by all means, go ahead, laugh. The rest of the freedom fighters follow, with Sally head in her hands in shame.
You can hear the Seinfeld bass playing in the background. All right. So they get on the chopper.
They're flying to Pyro Island.
Sonic is like, so any of you guys like action movies? You know, because this feels like one for sure. No, last bit I added, but yeah, basically they go to Pyro Island. They jump off the chopper.
They're
right?
exploring the island two of the Sigma Alpha 2 team are being taken by the dragon that they're hunting and asked to fan out to search for them. Sonic's saying, look, whatever, we'll find them later. But they're like, nope, we leave no man behind, and they just split up as a result. Tails, Bunny, and Sonic leave the humans behind to find a waterfall, to which Tails sees a cave behind it, which he thinks it's a dragon's lair. They cross it. Tails was right, but they end up finding their old friend Dulcie, who's happy to see them after all this time, and she's been living on Pyro Island this whole time.
It is definitely cool to see Dulcie again. This is a character who we haven't seen since issue 78, which feels like a lifetime ago. Oh my god. But it's cool to see her again. I'm always a fan when the smaller characters that had minor roles come back and do things, and I think that Dulcie was always a weird but cool character. So yeah, I mean, let's throw her into the story. Why
And
not?
she was voiced by Cree Summers in the cartoon. You can't go wrong.
Dulcie was in the cartoons
Yeah, she was one of the grandfathered in characters.
in Sat AM.
Mm-hmm. Do you not have any memory of this?
No, I mean, I'll be
Oof.
completely honest with you. I haven't watched all of Sat AM.
Well, I guess that's just me then. Anyway. But yeah, she was voiced by Cree Summers in the cartoon. Anyway, that was a little sidetrack distraction. Anyway, Sonic asks if she knows the dragon who attacked Station Square, and she's like, "Oh yeah, that was my mate Zan." To which he shows up, fire breath at the ready, yelling at her why she's talking to the enemy. Dulcie says to them, the military wants Pyro Island for their testing grounds. They attacked first, as Bunny sees that Dulcie's arm is in a sling, to which Zan asks, is it wrong to blow off a little steam? Tails asks to talk, Zan saying he has no interest. This is my home, you have no right to be here. Sonic says, look, okay, fair enough, but you attacked here. The military is not going to back down after that. And in that moment, Zan is muzzled by the humans. They try to go after Dulcie in their act of extreme prejudice, prompting Sonic, Tails, and Bunny to protect her. They prepare to fire their guns, but in the matter of a second, they're quickly disassembled by Sonic, saying that, bet basics didn't prepare you for that, huh, boys? Zan frees himself from his muzzle. About to roast the humans alive, Sonic stands in the way, with Zan saying, if you don't get out of the way, you will be fried too. Dulcie tries to stop him, leaving him to smack her with his tail, launching her out of the cave and knocking her headfirst into a tree.
Zan, dragon, known misogynist. Literally a fucking shitlord. Fuck this guy.
Oh no, this is 100% a story of domestic abuse, which we're gonna get into that. Tails and Bunny go chase after her. Sonic is fighting Zan in the cave. Tails and Bunny talk with Dulcie. Bunny realizing it was not the humans who hurt Dulcie's arm. Bunny asks, why are you with someone who hurts you? Dulcie says, no, it's not like that. Zan loves me, but maybe he hits her because it's her fault. Now we gotta have the conversation. Now,
why are we having domestic abuse in these comics?
Karl Bollers, what did you do, man? What made you pop off like this?
Listen, you know how we've been talking about the line being crossed, the shark being jumped, etc.?
Uh-huh.
Listen, we have hit the breaking point. Like, this is it, in my opinion. Right
So what,
now.
this is the line for you? Have we finally crossed the line?
We have crossed the line because, look, you can talk about whatever the fuck you want, but, like, why is it domestic abuse?
Yeah, that...
With the dragons!
Dragon.
In the Sonic comic!
Yeah, we don't need this.
I wanna die! Get me out!
I wish to be free from this flesh prison. I want
Zed.
release. Anyway, yeah, they fight. Bunny says, you're better than that. You don't need to be with anyone who abuses you. And then, like, explosives go off that Sigma Alpha 2 setup and crush the Dragon Cave with Sonic and Zan still inside. Sonic's a hedgehog. He burrows his way up, but Zan's crushed to death. This was like the matter of 2 pages. Maybe less than that.
He's fucking dead. The domestic abuse has been been pushed over. Okay.
So the mission's accomplished. The president makes good on his deal with the freedom fighters. He'll allow bringing in these overlanders. Sonic, Bunny, and Tails and Dulcie are still at the cave-in site, being there for Dulcie's mourning. We're done there. Oh, wait, I forgot to mention. Hold on. There's also an insert of a connect the dots activity.
Oh yeah, this is what we need to talk about. Okay, so speed, put it up. Put the whole page.
Yes,
the whole
here
page
we go,
needs
here
to
you
go up right
Here you
now.
go,
Yeah.
here you go.
Okay, so I want you to look at Tails right now and tell me that's not the most jank ass budget like bootleg looking version of Miles Tails Power you ever seen in your fucking life.
Thank you.
Look
Ken
at that!
Penders.
Look
Very
at the
cool.
comb over! Look at the comb over! Why does he have a comb over?
Thank you, Ken Penders. Very cool. I mean, the only reason I thought to brought this up because as soon as I saw this image, I got like a fucking That's So Raven vision of like, I don't know if anyone's ever like actually bothered to connect the dots, but I remember there's in my memory that picture where someone did do the connect the dots, and it's just a very, very fucked up looking Robotnik. I don't know like if you could find that. If I can find it, I'll put it back on the green screen, but like that's just what popped into my memory the minute I saw it.
Comb over Tails.
Comb over Tails is very important too.
Okay, so now...
Ken
Okay,
Penders.
More Ken Penders. All right, let's go.
Don Best did the art. Ken Penders only wrote. So Lane Daw is shocked that Knuckles actually reversed the effects of the quantum beam. Dimitri says he displayed more power in one act than I ever did as Enerjack, and may be capable of altering Echidna's destiny forever and ever. Lane Daw views his power as a threat, needs a pawn to do her bidding, and sees this new mysterious Echidna girl as a candidate. Remington asks for this girl's name in the meantime and introduces herself as Johnny Ka, thinking that if she says her real name, she'll get into trouble. Laura Lee then calls out to Remington, to which Johnny Ka recognizes her as Grandma, but much younger. Ken, you just gave up the game. You just fucking gave it up. Now we see that this is fucking Knuckles' daughter from the future. You just fucking gave it up. What the hell, man?
No, I'm sorry, okay? It's important. Everyone has to know. It's important.
I guess it fucking is.
Important.
I guess it fucking is.
Important. You have to remember, Knuckles is Christ. His daughter comes from the future to save... I can't, bro.
So yeah, the Chaotix are back on the island. They ask where the Knuckles is. The scene shifts to the Brotherhood. They're assessing damage to Haven. They just assume it was the Legion. Sojourner recounts the last memory that they were fighting the Legion at the Grand Conservatory before the blip in their memory. Spectre points out that Matthias and Hawking are no longer with them and senses that they passed on to the next evolution. And this is what they refer to as the afterlife. Wait for the fucking echidnas to try to have scientific terminology for like spirituality. I love it. Excellent job, Ken Penders. Bravo.
I like, do you know what's happening? I'm going to quote Joel from Vinesus on this one when he saw that Minecraft Steve was being added to Smash. I have diarrhea of the brain. Oh no, the green screen! Not again! Man down! It couldn't take Ken Penders, bro! The green screen wants out!
Patreon.com/Sonic
Speed.
Fuck me. Okay. Okay, hold on. Man down.
A few moments later.
Okay. Just don't move the chair. Do not move the chair. Anyway, Ken Penders, am I right, guys? Locke asks if this, like, extra energy that they can feel is Knuckles. Did he also pass to the next evolution? And right then and there, Knuckles gives Locke a vision of himself saying, "No, Dad, I'm fine, Lamau."
Father, it is me, Christ, I am alive!
I'm fine, Lamau, to which Locke is like, "No!" And Saber asks, like, are you fucking alright, buddy? To which Locke says, his fears may have turned out for the worst. On the surface, Knuckles meets his family, plus Remington and Johnny Ka. Being surprised of Knuckles being green like that, Remington swears that this is in fact Guardian Knuckles, and overhead the Legion ship lands. Remington about to engage in combat. Knuckles says, "No, stand down," and he's surprised at the order, saying, well, "What the fuck do you mean stand down? This is the first, like, you would be the first to condemn these people." To which Knuckles says, "That was then, and this is now." And Dimitri says that his technocracy wants to rejoin Echidna society and will do, quote, "whatever it takes to achieve that goal." That's the end of 107. Now, we had a lot to happen just last now, not because of the comic, but because a lot of special things happened with my green screen. But I felt like that added to the experience. So nevertheless, the first thing I want to point out to is Ken Penders being Ken Penders. We don't need to touch on that. We understand.
Listen, we have hit the point where our descriptions and explanations of all this shit is irrelevant. Like, we're gonna, I mean, like, at this point, we're just, like, here. We're so mentally exhausted from this shit that we're just gonna laugh at it regardless. So, like, it's here.
We're hitting the second wind, and thank God. Thank God. But what I really want to talk about is the main story that Karl Bollers wrote. What the fuck? Domestic abuse in my Sonic the Hedgehog comic? It's more likely than you think.
Really than you think?
Because, like, and here's something that I like, should I? No. I'm going to wait till the next comic to play this out, because there's something that I want to say. I have some things to say, but I think it's going to be more appropriate on the next comic, number 108. You guys ready?
Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little warning. I haven't read 108, 109, 110, so I'm going to be reacting to these in real fucking time.
Perfect.
I hope you guys are ready. This is going to be a very interesting experience, all right?
All right. So, 108, we have a new writer by the name of Benny Lee writing this issue. And I say new in, like, infinite quotations, which I'll get to. So, this cover is proudly proclaiming the return of the original Dr. Robotnik. We have Eggman on the cover, Robotnik, this is it. It's over, boys. So, Eggman is holding some energy in a machine, saying that due to Knuckles' fuckery with reality, he was able to secure this little residue. And out of the energy comes Robotnik, the original Robotnik that was defeated by Sonic in issue 50. Robotnik sees Eggman, basically asks, "What the fuck are you supposed to be?" and calls the Shadowbots to, quote, "arrest this boob," surprised they're not following his commands. Now, back in Not All, the Freedom Fighters are playing hide-and-go-seek with Tails, having fun. They can't find anyone, but Tails calls out to a bush, rattling, thinking it's Sonic. To which Sonic pops up right behind him, saying, like, "No, that's not me." And out of that bush comes Robotnik. And by the way, I need to stress, the more we see Robotnik, he looks like more and more fucked up.
I actually kind of like this idea, though. Like, okay, so if you're gonna bring back the original Robotnik, who we thought was completely gone forever, it is perfect to frame him as somebody who has been both physically and mentally torn the fuck apart.
Oh, no, yes, that's exactly what I was going to say. Because this is a very, very clever visual communication. I applaud that 100%. Good job.
Yes.
They're surprised that Robotnik, the one they defeated once and for all, got a, quote, "a round-trip ticket from the afterlife." Robotnik says that this was the doing of the alternate version of myself, Eggman. He wants to steal my memories and barely managed to escape the Shadowbots. Sonic doesn't really feel sympathetic towards him, but brings him to the king and queen regardless, and he asks for protection. Alicia is sympathetic. Max wants to agree with Alicia, to which Sonic screams, Hey, remember when this dude tried to fucking enslave all of us?
Do you remember when he tried to commit a genocide? Do you remember? Because I sure remember. Why are you treating him like this?
And specifically, he says he could be a robot for all we know. And Alicia says, yep, solid argument, Sonic the Hedgehog. Then they bring him to Dr. Quack, does a full physical on him, and says, yep, this is Dr. Robotnik, full flesh and blood, 100%. A full week passes. Robotnik has been a guest of the House of Acorn. He breaks the glass of Sonic's room playing golf, cannonballs into a river where the Freedom Fighters are relaxing, and the truest crime of all, Sonic slips on a banana peel littered by Robotnik. How he cannot keep getting away with it.
He can't. He's too powerful.
Afterwards, Robotnik tells the king he's ready to face himself in Robotropolis, and the freedom fighters escort him. In this jet, Robotnik offers a little alliance to Sally, saying, hey, after I reclaim Robotropolis, what do you think? Like, our kingdoms join forces and have a little allyship. What do you say? Sally just says, like, fucking whatever, buddy. They land on a tower, and the plan is Sonic, Tails, Antoine, and Bunny will be the welcome party, while Sally, Robotnik, Rotor, and Nicole will handle the tech support. They smash Shadowbots left, right, and center, and in the room they're led to, they find a mainframe computer, which kind of looks nothing more like a computer, kind of like a shadow light that glows below them, is being operated by Robotnik now. They enter, have a funny feeling about it, and as the light bathes them, Sonic screams out to whatever is going on. And then Eggman walks in behind them saying, your molecules are disassembling thanks to this lovely machine that Robotnik brought back. Bunny then asks, like, wait, whose insane idea was this anyway? Then the two, Robotnik and Eggman, point to each other.
It's a great panel. It's a great panel. They're just like, it was him!
And then, Sally calls for Nicole. She disables the machine. Robotnik's surprised that they managed to burn it out. And Sonic says, I never believed your story from the beginning, Robotnik. We've just fried this machine. That was our mission. We're done here. Goodbye. They divulge into a fist fight. Snively tries to interject as the freedom fighters calmly walk away. Sonic says, like, don't worry about anything, because Dr. Quack decided to hold an important detail from Robotnik. His molecules are unstable, and he physically will not last much longer. And in the middle of this fist fight, he disappears. Molecules are just gone. Eggman saying, I hate that hedgehog.
Clap. I'm clapping because he said the line. Okay, so so we gotta talk about this, right?
I want to talk because I have some words, okay?
Okay.
Now, this new writer that we've discussed about, Benny Lee. How do I put it delicately? This isn't a new writer. This is, Karl Bollers taking on a new persona. Specifically what happened here, the story goes, as revealed in in Ken Pender's forums, he said that Benny Lee and Karl Bollers were the same person. Allegedly, the reason being that the fans and some, like, critical reception to the stories that he's written thus far were, like, way too grimdark. And I think a perfect example was the last two stories he made previously, on account of it being, domestic abuse.
Sick abuse.
Like, and so, like, I can imagine the fan response to this would be like, hey, what the fuck? This is not, what is this? Why are you making me see this? I don't like this at all. Again, as the story goes, Karl Bollers took on this, like, Benny Lee persona for various reasons, assumedly. One of which being that this was to directly get back at one specific reviewer who really did not like his writing. So he created this new persona to write more, like, not as serious, more goofy-ish, kind of in line, tone-wise, with, the older first 25 issues of the comic that were a little bit more slapstick, and then, like, once this alleged supposed reviewer come out and say, oh, this new guy, this guy's good, I like this guy much better than Karl Bollers, and then rip off the shirt, dramatic reveal, it was me all along, it was me, Austin. But
Kono dio da, etc., etc., etc.,
etc. But, like, honestly, that's just I don't think it would go like that if that was the case. Ultimately, what could have happened was Karl Bollers just kind of wanted a fresh start. Maybe he was tired of all the negative criticism he was getting over his stories. And just is like, you know what? This isn't my shtick. I was just hired to do a job. I'm doing what I know. So I'm just going to, like, start fresh. I'm going to start from scratch. I'll still collect my checks. But you know what? Whatever. I'm going to live my life. And this is going to remain for a while. Like, the Benny Lee persona, it's going to remain for a good while.
Yeah.
And actually, we are going to have some stories that were credited to Karl Bollers directly. Why Karl Bollers will now have 2/3 of the billing of this book, I don't know. Don't know how that happened, but could be worse.
All right, I have to talk about this story. So I read it while you were going through all of that, right? And all I'm going to say is, this upcoming story, you could no cap play the fucking... All right, Speed, you've watched Naruto, right?
Of course.
Okay, so you know the sad music that plays when they're in the flashback? Da-da-da,
Don't.
da-da-da-da. That's literally all I fucking hear when I'm reading this shit. It's the same level of like, what's going on? Okay, so how quickly do you get copyrighted if you put that in?
I'm tempted. I'll see where my heart is at when I'm editing this. But I'm just now. I have the swing stuck in my head, bro. I can't get it out.
The swing.
That swing had more screen time than 1010. Anyway.
Yo, you're not wrong. No fucking cap.
So anyway, Karl Bollers wrote this, credited properly. So Axter did the art. So. In short, Sally is reading a letter that Sally got from one of the Overlander refugees, Hope Kentobor. She says that despite the fact that she's a relative of Eggman and that she's an Overlander, she still feels like really happy that she is being treated so kindly. I know I would have to leave with the other Overlanders to Station Square, but I don't want to. These people are so nice to me, and I've never felt this kind of kindness in my life. Can I please stay here if it's possible? And King Max, and I think like the first and only like heartfelt moment he's had is like, you know what, Sally? Why don't we grant a little girl's wish today? Hope overhears this, rushes into the castle, gives Sally a big old hug. She's staying in Knothole for real.
Okay, so there's a couple things I gotta talk about with this story, alright? I don't know what it is about this segment in particular, but the art is on point. Characters look good. They still look a little too anime for my taste, but it's definitely like the way that it was done. It looks very, very, very good. There's a particular panel where Hope is describing how she felt when she first saw Sonic. And it's this very exaggerated, more like wild version of Sonic, and it's really, really cool, and I like the art, right? I think that the character models look great. I think it's all this stuff. Okay, second thing, Hope. Hope is a character that is actually kind of okay, because her arc goes on for a long time. And it's not the kind of arc where it's like insufferable. No, Hope interacts with specific characters. There's one in particular who is very, very, very important. We will get to that, which is, I do, as much as I hate Penders, I do like what happens between Hope and that character and how it fundamentally changes her and him, right? So, it's interesting. It's unique, it's different, and I think that Hope is a cool character within this lore. And I'm glad that, like, they really recognize that as, like, they wanted to get a child's perspective, which I'm cool with.
Mm-hmm.
It feels more in line. It feels more in line with what you would expect from a Sonic comic, right?
It's almost like Sonic X done good, but we can
talk about that another day.
True. So, story C, Ken Penders wrote, Don Best did the art. So, Laura Lee is pissed upon learning that Knuckles sided with the Legion, to which Knuckles responds with, it's not like the Mitres were innocent either. Playing the both sides thing, Knuckles. Very cool, very epic. Love it.
Very epic. Knuckles is like, look, okay, I know they tried to do a genocide and turn our race into a bunch of cybernetic freaks, but like, what if they have really cool opinions, bro? Knuckles is in the alt-right pipeline right now.
No.
I just want to point that out. This is the pipeline that most like internet nerds go through, okay? He's in the alt-right pipeline. Next, he's gonna start asking questions about various echidna ethnicities, and we go from there. No! I'm just saying, man, that's the alt-right pipeline. That's where Knuckles is.
Fear. Ken Penders, what have you done? Like we have implied previously, Knuckles just wants to hear him out, pissing off Laura Lee even further because he represents a dangerous threat to my children, to which Knuckles says, what do you mean? I'm an only child. Laura C says, not fucking anymore, bucko. I'm pregnant.
Bitch, I got a baby in here. We soul touched.
Knuckles says, his immediate response is just like, slack-jawed. You sure? Yeah, she's fucking sure, Knuckles. Knuckles says, that's not something that I thought about. Sorry. To which Laura Lee says, yeah, that's not the only thing you didn't give thought to. Now, meanwhile, Dimitri is pleading to the council for talks of reunification, Dimitri debating him, wondering if the two societies can reunite after all this time. After all, Dimitri is a disgusting mesh of blood and metal. Quote, Aurora herself did not mean for echidnas to enhance themselves with metal. Now, I also want to pose this question. Glasses are also not natural. Should we not have glasses? You know? I don't know. It's a weird take.
Listen, the Echidna Conservative Society and the hyper-nationalistic Dimitri Dark Brotherhood are at war. Meanwhile, Knuckles is trying to be the bridge between the both of them, and nobody likes it. I mean, okay.
Let's be fair here. That's a good dynamic. I do like where this story can go. We have two societies who are both wrong. Knuckles is just like trying to find some common ground for the sake of like bringing people back together. Yes, it's been like thousands of years. I don't know. I do think I feel a little hooked. I do like where this story might go.
It is definitely more interesting because it's actually things happening, right? Like it feels like, okay, all right, I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to vomit a little in my mouth. I'm going to have to praise Ken Penders for this. Because at least he's trying to make some sort of internal conflict feel necessary.
Mm-hmm.
Echidna Society has been split for so long that something has to be done. The plot cannot move forward with a back and forth and revelations and this and that. It has to come to this at some point, right?
Right.
So him trying to move the story forward and really force some sort of resolution or even deeper conflict makes sense, at least in my mind. So I'm fine with this. I think it's better than what we had before with him, but
yeah,
that isn't
Ken Penders is making his way. No hate here. So meanwhile, Johnny Ka is stalking Knuckles and follows him into the High Council building and finds him talking to Lane Da, the one person Mom refuses to talk to. Knuckles enters to make a case for Dimitri, saying, listen, the first steps are going to be difficult, but we need to begin the healing process, and that means we have to take a chance. Which, very good dialogue. I think that's the best argument that can be made here. Good job. Meanwhile, Johnny Ka rushes in, tries to get into a room, but is blocked by a cop, and she pushes in to find Remington screaming, "You betrayed us for the last time," and fires his weapon, Johnny Ka screaming she's too late. That's the end of 108.
I don't know a lot to say about the back half of that. I mean, it's just whatever. Okay, 109. We got one this and one other, and we're done. But I don't like the cover to 109. It really does look like it was photoshopped together.
Before we head into Sonic number 109, let's take a short break. We'll be right back with the Archie Sonic Digest.
Reddit Big Chungus Wholesome 100 goddamn based Reddit Kino.
And we're back.
Hi.
Without wasting any time, we've had enough. Sonic number 109. Benny Lee wrote it, and Ron Lim did the art. We open with the Freedom Fighters. Their submarine is being entangled by a roboticized sea snake, but it's not that big of a deal. Sonic steps back to see Rotor upset over he couldn't help his family from fixing their hypnosis that Robotnik put on them. Sonic suggested to use the Sword of Acorns. It worked for the Robians, so maybe it could work here. So then we flash back to Castle Acorn. Sally takes the sword, with it speaking to her, saying it knew Sally would come back. She's taken aback by the voice, but it seems like no one else heard it, so they move along. Back in the sub, the Freedom Fighters follow along this oil pipeline that seems to go on forever, as Eggman finds them and sicks that roboticized sea snake onto their sub. It electrocutes the ship as Rotor ejects everyone out into sea pods to the surface and land onto the frozen tundra, causing Sonic to engage in a fight with Eggman Shadowbots. This distraction's going on. Sally preps the herd in the background to be sane again as Rotor sets off a detonation for the oil rig. It goes off. All's well that ends well. The herd has their minds back. Rotor introduces the freedom fighters to his mother and his younger brother, and his mom invites the team over for dinner. Very done. Very cute. Good job.
Yeah,
Benny Lee.
it was
cute.
We really don't have much to say. It was just
They
tie up the Rotor plot line in a nice, neat little bow, and that's it.
Now we move on. And before we move on, though, we now see the insert of the complete Knuckles family tree.
I just want to point out, like, look at this fucking thing, right? Like, look at it.
There's so much for it. There are so many characters here that, like, Ken Penders, like, this man really has it in him that he needs to tell everything. Can't leave anything up to chance. No mystery. Just put everything on the table. Which, I'm not gonna lie, I respect that. I do respect that. I just wonder, is it necessary? And the answer is no. I want to point something out here. Look on, like, what is it, the left side or the right side of the page?
The left is like where Julie Sue fucking says, don't forget, the blank spaces are characters we've yet to introduce.
That's not what I was pointing to. That's not what I meant. So, Dark Legion, right? They're brothers. Dimitri and Edmund are. They're brothers. So, the entire lineage of the Dark Brotherhood is like a twisted reflection of the Brotherhood of Guardians. What I'm trying to get at here is that, like, Julie Sue is in Knuckles' family tree. They're distant cousins. That's not Ken Penders' fault, though. He didn't really think about it like that. It was a genuine mistake. I'm not trying to, like, come for him like that. It was a mistake. It was a boo-boo.
Wait. So they're technically related by blood.
Yep.
Oh, he fucked up really hard, didn't he?
Yeah, he fucked up. And yes, I'm stressing this. This was not on purpose. This was not on... I'm really trying not to get sued, okay? This was not on purpose.
I mean, I don't... Look, okay? I mean, Ken Penders is a fucking weirdo, but I don't think he would intentionally fuck this up.
No. It was a genuine... It was a boo-boo on Ken Penders' part. It happens to the best of us, folks. This is really short. This next story by Karl Bollers and art by Axel, I legit have a sentence for it. Mina tries to chase after Sonic and is stopped by Sally. She admits she has a crush on Sonic and is trying to, like, figure him out personally and asks Sally, the best / worst person you could ask a question to about this. And she basically just ends with, Sonic's a complicated guy, but at the end of the day, he does care. And Mina's satisfied with that answer, so she runs off. That's the end of that story. Who cares? The last story, Ken Penders wrote it. Don Best art. So, Johnny Caw did actually stop the blast, but someone else actually shot Knuckles, so that's fucked.
I also love the fact that it's, like, visible that Knuckles gets motherfucking shot in the face. Like no cap. Like,
You
he
see
literally
it?
pulls out the gun and just hits him with the, alright, goodbye, bam.
Oh my fucking god.
Hey, I just want to point out, the guy shooting the gun is you, and then I'm Knuckles. and the beam has the caption of Sonic Comics on it.
Sonic Comics. Oh fuck! I may have to. That's probably gonna be
That's the edit. That's the thumbnail. That's the fucking thumbnail.
So she runs off. She's apologizing to Remington, kind of. So he runs off as well. Lane Daw investigates. There's no sign of a wound or a pulse. Double weird. Dimitri feels something for the first time in a long time, I assume. He says, oh wow, Knuckles saved him from the blast. And Dimitri feels responsible as one of his boys who was the one that pulled the trigger. And then a counselor walks and says, well, I think this is an excellent time, boys, to... Let's establish a committee for building bridges. Not sure if this is the time for it, seeing as Knuckles got fucking owned, but alright, Ken Penders.
He's dead!
They're literally having this conversation. They're having this conversation over his dead body. I'm sorry. The counselor admits that the reason why Dimitri's methods were rejected at the time was because his tech was just way too advanced. If we had time to study of it, then maybe we could have done something with you. Lane Daw walks back thinking that if someone realizes that that was her hired gun, then she'll be in trouble. So Johnny Caw walks past Julie Sue thinking of her mother, but also notices Lane Daw. and one of her hired guns are about to take out Julie Sue, something for which she intervenes in successfully. And in the heat of the moment, she's coming down from that, and with tears in her eye, realizes it might have actually been she was destined to save her mother, not her father. And then that's where the Terminator time warp thing happens again and is pulled back into her time, her screaming, "No, I don't want to go. I'm not ready to go." Inside, Julie Sue runs to see Knuckles alive. And turns out
he's just fucking alive.
He just walks in just like, "Hey boys, how's this hanging? What's on? Who's winning on the game today?" And then they're all like, "Dude, what the fuck? We saw you get shot dead. What the fuck?" And he says, "Oh, I just played dead in order to build trust between the two groups and also to expose of the traitor in the Dark Legion." A phrase that Dimitri does not take lightly. But then we have a time skip to Johnny Caw's future, and she runs back to her mother, revealing her name as Laura Sue. Laura Sue is dangerously close to Mary Sue. And you know what? Like, listen, look. Listen, okay, look.
Why are we still reading?
I just wanted to say that, like, if Ken Penders had, like, a modicum of irony and self-awareness, he would have named this character Mary Sue, and I would have respected that. That's some fucking... Look, we talked about Chris Chan in the last episode. This is some Tails Gets Trolled Laserbot level of self-awareness he could have done, but no. Oh, well.
I just want to point out that Linda is really the only reason that bad things are happening.
Yeah.
Like, this is something that is very consistent throughout most of the story after Linda gets introduced. She is literally the reason why everything falls apart. Like, no cap. Like, fuck Linda. Like, she is the worst. Nobody likes Linda. Listen, if you simp for Linda, I wish death upon your house.
You and the next 7 of your generations are cursed from this point forward.
Yes, I curse you would die.
Here's my iron tome for you. Her mom admits that Knuckles was never actually killed. He just went berserk upon absorbing too much chaos energy and is now leading the Dark Legion himself to conquer the planet and is now old enough to join the fight against him. That's the end of 109.
Okay, 110, and I just want to point out, it's called War Games, not so subtle title reference.
I want to point something out here, War Games, is that what describe the cover for me, if you would.
It's Sonic being targeted, there's pictures of Snively, Eggman, the Station Square president, Sally, Tails, and, some fucking missiles.
Of course. Okay, so we're not there yet. That's going to be later on, but I have a note. I'll leave you that as your bated breath.
So we turn the page. You get the little intro, and we get the little cute artwork of Sonic and Tails, and then this text box pops up on screen. What does a talking blue hedgehog, a two-tailed fox, and 5 nuclear-armed missiles have in common?
Well, what?
5 nuclear-armed missiles.
We open. Uncle Chuck wakes up Sonic and Tails in the middle of the night. They've been summoned to the castle ASAP and rush there half asleep. In the castle, Sally tells Sonic and Tails about a message that she got from the president of Station Square. Their defense system, after loading information about Eggman into it, it switched its systems from defensive to offensive, and it sees Eggman as a threat to be eliminated and set to launch a nuke to Robotropolis. This is the matter of like 2 fucking pages. The stakes are already at the fucking ceiling.
We went from 0 to 100 in 2 pages. Sonic, Tails, wake up. What? Nukes!
Oh, fuck! A hell of a thing to wake up to. Sally says the nukes were already launched and can't be stopped. So Sonic and Tails rush to Robotropolis and scream out to him to offer a truce and warn him about the nukes. Eggman's like, what the fuck are you talking about? What fucking nukes? Right then and there, the alarm in Robotropolis goes off. Eggman sees them on his radar, And Sonic suggests Eggman use his satellites to shoot down the missiles. But Eggman says, like, why the fuck would I do that? I have a barrier system. So he simply says, put the barriers around Robotropolis. Sonic and Tails rush out to break the barriers down to force Eggman to use his satellites.
Wait, the line when they get there, right? So he's like, hurry, Snively, after them before they reach the controls. And then Sonic, obviously this is only funny in hindsight, he says, trolls? We're not trolls, actually. Ironic that there's a comic named Tails Gets Trolled. Ironic.
Very, very ironic. Really makes you think. If
really makes you think, bro.
They find this command center as Eggman chases them there. Tails quickly rewrote the command lines and escape. Missiles are coming into the city hot and rush up a building. They vault over the missiles one by one. And right as they enter its perimeter, Tails activates the barrier as the nukes touch ground. They go off contained inside this barrier. It contains the explosion and the nuclear fallout. Number one, based. Number two,
based. unironically kind of based. Hey, we have nukes heading for us. Yeah, so we're just gonna blow up Mobotropolis, and we're gonna contain the nuke in the force field.
And then, looking back, Tails sees the clouds and figures, well, there's our old home gone in flames and nuclear destruction. We can never live in Robotropolis again, huh? As Sonic says, well, don't worry about it, Tails. Knothole's our new home now. And that's the end of that story. And very quickly, story B, written by Karl Bollers. Axel did the art. So, Sally appears to her parents, sword of acorns in hand, possessed by the source of all, saying there's a disturbance in it. Max is surprised but figured that this would happen. Sally rejected the source of all way back when, but it hasn't rejected her. We then move to see Sally's consciousness is in some kind of liminal space. The shape of the sword is talking to Sally and tells her Sonic and Tails succeeded in their mission, but in the process, the source of all was evaporated by the nuclear fallout, and the remnants, all of the remnants of the source of all, are now contained within the sword and the crown of acorns. And then the sword starts to begins to give Sally some visions, the present first of what happened with Sonic, and the past, when the sword saved Sally's life, and now the future, where she sees her and Sonic being attacked by ninjas. Sally is screaming out, I don't want to see visions of the future, stop showing me this. But the sword is insisting she doesn't have a choice. In reality, Alicia shakes Sally's body to snap her back into consciousness, and she groggily wakes up. Her mom doesn't understand what's going on, but Sally says, Mom, I think this is my destiny. That's the end of Sonic number 110. That's the end of all the comics we've got for you. Aaron, what have we learned today?
Domestic abuse, bad. You can get shot with a gun in the head and not die. You can get possessed by a sword. And blowing up a city with a force field around it and having the nukes drop inside is kind of based. But other than that, I mean, I really don't have a lot to say about these comics. Most of them were just kind of throwaway. Didn't really advance the plot forward. Little things happened here or there, but like...
Really, this episode just talked more about behind-the-scenes drama of these comics, which is also fun. I mean, Karl Bollers, what possessed you to just, like, create a new, like, persona to write under? I understand if it was, like, weird criticism, because here's what I'm thinking. When I first learned and when I was doing my research, I was thinking, why would you do that? Because if it was Ken Penders, he would just, like, look at this critique straight in the eye, says, fuck you, you don't know anything. This is building up to something fucking massive. Shut the fuck up. Double, triple, quadruple down. Meanwhile, Karl Bollers is just sort of like, I don't like this. I don't like doing this. I'm just doing what I know. I'm just doing what I fucking know, okay? Why are you asking me so much? So then he creates a new persona for himself to write under and creates, like, not really... There's, like, something going on. There is plot happening, but it's very, like, minute, Saturday morning cartoon-esque, whatever. And yeah, that's it. Green Knuckles is funny, though. We have to agree to that.
Green Knuckles is one of the worst decisions I think Ken Penders has made. It's so bad, it hurts. Like, fuck. I don't know. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Fuck the shit, man. I had like a mental. I had another mental breakdown this episode. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Thank you for having me on. I love you.
When we love having you on, this is hilarious content.
Yes, this is primo content.
And on that note, we'll see you next time for another episode of the Archie Sonic Digest. We might have some lighter stuff to touch on, more of this. Not a lot of things going on moving forward, but the reason why you're here is because you want to hear what the fuck Ken Penders is doing, and that's what we're here to deliver on for.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
See you then.